Hello, everybody, and welcome to BetterQuest, the show about getting better and holding each other accountable. My name is Ben Hanson. I'm in the studio. I'm joined by Jeff Cork.
Hey, how's it going with the weird energy?
Our fingers are going to touch on the table. Fingers. The point is, it's kind of fun to get together when you can. We recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the few times I leave the house.
Oh, really? Yeah, because I put it in your camp about we could do this in the studio. It seems like a long haul for one little humble show like BetterQuest. Mm-hmm. You said, nay, I need to get out of this house. I gotta
get out of this house, I say.
Are you losing your mind working from your basement and stuff?
No, I actually really like it.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll see how long that lasts, buddy.
It's an office. It's not, it just happens to be in the basement.
Oh, I see. So you're down there all day?
Yeah, most of the day. But also I go upstairs and kind of wander around. It's kind of like, when you're in an office and you just do a few laps when you just need to clear your head or whatever.
Yeah.
Except doing laps in my house.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I kind of, I'm getting to the point now after 2 years where I'm really missing an office. There was a period where our dear friends at Glitch, they published Hyperdot, all that fun stuff. I produced a podcast for them. That was the first thing ever recorded in the old MinnMax studio. And part of that deal was, I think it was even a contract we signed. It's okay, I'll produce the first season of this podcast. And then for my payment, how about I get to work out of your office?
Oh, yeah.
Out of your Glitch office. And I was looking forward to that. And then this pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until right within the last month that I'm like, you know what? I think I kind of want to take them up on that. I think I want to go work out of that office just 1 day a week or something. I just need to get out of this house.
You gotta get out of this house.
And then it turns out they don't have their office anymore. And they realized we're all remote. I said, I don't know if I go to Ava's house. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's a raw deal.
It's a raw. Did you get that contract notarized with the little ribbon and the embossed foil?
I did.
Unbelievable.
Coming for him. No, that's totally fair. I like this house. It means I have to shake things up. I need to actually make a real little office space. I think that's your secret, right? Because just sitting on the couch doing work, it doesn't feel worky enough.
It does not feel worky enough. That if I did not have a little office space, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, but it's cute down there.
It's super cute down there.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Absolutely.
This is BetterQuest. It's a show about setting personal goals every single month, and then we make them or we break them.
Can't fake them.
Can't fake them, everybody. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. You can unlock the podcast version of this very discussion. Also, the deepest dives. Also, early access to the MinnMax show. Also, you just help support independent games media by going to patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's and supporting us and unlocking the wonderful exclusive podcast feed where this will jump into your earbuds.
And I will say, I can attest to this. If you are a subscriber or a member of the Patreon, your inbox will never be empty again. So if you feel like I want every day to be mail day,
right? Well, thank you for your support. I mean, you are Patreon supporter number 1, Cork. Which is very sweet. I do worry about that because at times I feel like for the community, it's I could be doing more. I could be doing more, and then I always think for a majority of the people that support us on Patreon, they're probably enough already. We don't want to submit a question to Crossfade. Leave us alone. That is what I feel every time we post one of those.
I will take that over the alternative any day, though. Because it's super easy to ignore emails or just to be set up a filter and then check it periodically versus what's going on? Are these guys even doing this stuff anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, I have that with a couple things that I funded years and years ago, people I love dearly, like the old 1UP Show guys, Area 5. I funded this documentary series called Outlanders that I was so excited about, and it's they released it, I think, as a tease to Patreon supporters, but they haven't released it publicly yet. I just hate that feeling of the anticlimactic, I don't know, kind of technically it's fulfilled, moving on. You need something. So that's the point. That's what the Patreon's like. It's a nonstop avalanche of, here, this is where your money's going. This is where your money's going, everybody. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. Cork, how have you been the last month, man?
I've been doing very well.
Prove it.
Prove it? By which metric?
By which metric? I just watched, shut up though, Cork. I just watched Waiting for Guffman.
Oh, wow.
For this 1000th time. I've seen it so many times, but...
Quirky.
Quirky! Did you get a lot of that?
I got enough of it. But this was before waiting for Guffman. We've talked about this before, so
I don't think so.
My Corky reference would have been Chris Burke, the actor from Life Goes On.
Okay. No.
He has Down syndrome.
Oh.
Which, when you were growing up in the era that I was in at the time.
That's rough.
Yeah. It was punching down right at me. So, did not like it.
Yeah, it's not very good. Anyways, I didn't have anything really great to say, but Waiting for Guffman, I've seen it so many times, and yeah, I just watched this last weekend again. And yeah, that scene where the other guy in the city council is so excited for Corky St. Clair, and he's just sitting there crying, going, Corky! Corky! I was thinking about it today. I'm like, I wonder if Corky ever gets that.
Not so much.
Little Corky blasted this way.
I got to tell you something, though.
Yeah.
So, this summer, Tiffany, my wife, likes to hang out on the deck. Right?
Yeah.
Deck is falling apart because we've stained it and on purpose and tried to maintain it, but it's just like the wood was falling apart eventually, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, we're going to replace it with that like plastic composite wood that lasts forever and is prohibitively expensive, but we've saved up a little bit. We're going to do like a screened-in porch and all this business.
Ooh, wow.
So today, the demolition crew came in and took the old deck out. Yesterday, we had the cathartic moment where I'm just like, this built-in bench, I'm going to kick it. And I broke a bunch of stuff and pulled up some boards. And it was super fun. But didn't have to do it. I could stop at any moment.
I'm sure they get that and they're like, what? Did a raccoon have that? What happened? Just a couple spots of demo? What is this?
Hey, guys, get a load of this. But they took it apart. And the whole time, I was like, I got to see what's underneath this deck.
Yeah.
Right?
'Cause 2 forks, I'm guessing.
My mind was I was thinking it could be anything from like an entire skeleton to the very minimum a skull, something fun, right?
Right.
So they packed up and left after they tore it apart. And Tiff comes downstairs. She's like, Jeff, we're gonna check it out. So we're like, all right. And we walked around looking. Couple like accessories for some toys like from long ago, like part of a gun or something from a little toy robot.
Yeah.
Lackluster.
Sure.
Cup. Nothing interesting. Except at the very last, like literally in the last corner as I was getting ready to go upstairs.
Yeah.
Rabbit skull.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's why you're wearing it as a necklace underneath your shirt today?
That's why I'm wearing it as a necklace underneath my shirt.
You've watched a lot of Alone.
Exactly. This is going to come in handy. Mm-hmm. It's a back scratcher. It's too effective. I'm going to need to get shots probably.
Oh boy. I remember a long time ago we were talking about Alone. I think on BetterQuest, and then one of the editors reached out to us.
I want to talk to that person now.
I just found them again.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, because I hadn't really seen the show too much, but I'm so glad that they reached out again on Patreon, because apparently I mentioned Alone on the main podcast too, because I'm still very obsessed with it. It's Brian is his name. I don't know if I'll say his full name or whatever. So I got to send some messages again just to get that inside dirt on how Alone works. And he said... He probably said this on this show, so I'm not telling too many tales out of school, but he said, you'd be surprised how many hours of the footage are just people crying. It's just like emotional breakdowns.
I want to do a whole episode talking to him about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he can call in. If you're listening, Mr. Alone Editor, we'd love to talk to you even more about what happens behind the scenes of this reality show that we're obsessed with.
Yeah, because your goal, if I remember correctly, was to talk about everybody's butts that you saw.
Right.
On the footage.
Yeah, how dirty were they after 2 months in the Arctic?
Yeah.
Oh, their teeth are always too nice and like clean looking on that show.
You see them when they've got like, I'm just brushing my teeth with some silica from the beach and a stick.
Right.
I know that if I tried to do that, I would immediately be like eating 4 bowls of Fruit Loops, one after the other. I would just be coughing up blood. I don't have the skills.
Doesn't have the skills, but he does have the skills, everybody, to get a little bit better every month, which is the point of this show. So we are going to recap our goals from last month.
Yep.
Then we're going to take some wonderful community calls talking about their goals, past, present, and future. And then we're going to not pick new goals. You're on top of this, right? You
inflict
a goal on the other person, whether they like it or not. We're picking goals for each other. Once more, we did this once in the past, and you made me cook. a pretty cake.
Yep.
And I made you give some writing lessons to some up-and-coming writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
All right. How are you feeling about your pick for me?
We'll go get into it. It's very difficult.
Is that right?
It's very difficult.
Okay. Well, I have a couple options for you here, so maybe I can switch it up if yours is going to be too damning and I could go to a harder one or something. Go! Thank you, everybody who jumps into the BetterQuest channel on Discord and shares your updates along the way throughout the month. We appreciate everybody jumping in there saying, here's where I'm at, and everybody else jumping in saying, rah, 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 you're doing it. It's the most positive corner of a wonderfully positive Discord, so if you're not in there, you're losing out, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Cork, this last month, your goal, sir, was to reconnect with 5 old friends and family members and have, as you put it, quote, some sort of interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Tall order. How'd it go?
I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to tell it to you straight. 3 out of 5. But,
okay.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Working backwards to make it seem like less of a failure.
Yeah.
Still a failure. I'm owning it.
Okay.
My goal was 2 people in particular.
Okay.
And I have reached out to both of those people. I went to the gosh darn store and I bought cards. And
as your opening salvo?
Yes.
Wow.
Good. I even thoughtfully picked them. I'm I bet they might like this one. Or this one does not seem like something they would not like. And hand wrote what I thought were nice long messages.
Yeah.
And have not heard back. A couple reasons.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Well, let me explain. One of the people is in very poor health. And and I also said I would be writing I'll be sending another card with some photos of the kids and everything like that. Okay. So that one, I was not expecting any kind of response. The guy, he doesn't have email or anything like that.
Okay.
Old school.
Yeah.
The other people, I said, here's my email address. I would like to get back in touch and all that kind of stuff. Have not heard back from them. So they could be very busy, but I feel like I have reached out. So I failed on that one because I did not have an interaction, but at the same time, I can't force someone to interact,
I'm still amazed by you don't have their email, but you have their address and you're feeling confident about their address?
Oh, 100%. I got it from my parents.
Oh,
They have the addresses.
Okay, so these are Alaska people.
No.
Oh.
They're family members that don't live there anymore. But they're...
Okay, and Facebook Messenger wasn't an option? You feel like this is a more reliable way to go?
It had been such a long time that I felt like it was worthy of something more than just a Facebook Messenger.
Okay, yeah. How poetic did you get? Was it basically just Christmas card style vibe of I am married to somebody named Tiff. You wouldn't believe our kids.
You were at our wedding, and that was the last time we saw you. That kind of thing, yeah.
Hope you liked it. What do you remember about that day?
I have children. One of them is starting high school next week. Yeah.
I mean, did you get specific about hey, here's what you've meant to me, or anything good and juicy in there?
No, I would like to though. That's where I think I want to get to.
Right. Yeah, Evan One Sonic in the chat here watching us live at the Backstage Pass here. He's confused about, wait, so your goal is up to other people? That is kind of a tough spot that you've put yourself in, but I guess you sent them out.
I think by using that as part of the evaluation was probably a misfire.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know how you feel about this.
Tell me.
I'm going to tell you about it. If I got one of those cards, I'd feel very intimidated to respond.
Really?
I would. I believe I would. But a good barometer is some old friends. It's a long story, but I gave their kid a bunch of 3DS and DS games, and they sent me a card, a thank you note. And then at the end said I like Pac-Man. What's your favorite game? And I had it on my fridge. I was oh, this is a cute thing that my friend's kid sent me. I just had it up there for years.
Yeah.
And then one day I was you know what? I'm actually going to reply to this now. Let me talk about Final Fantasy VII with this kid. And so then it was last summer or something, I guess? Then we just had a nice exchange of actual letters going back and forth for a while.
That's fun.
And so I feel I was intimidated to respond to a letter to begin with. I feel because it's this is kind of the sentiment. How much am I going to get by actually slugging my butt down to the post office and trudging? Is that a red word?
I have a mailbox.
Oh, I see. Mr. Fancy Mailbox. Yeah. It just seems like a lot. Is there any universe where you think that's the case? Like if you got a letter like this, you'd be too intimidated to respond?
I honestly don't know what the alternative would be, though.
Just sit on it. Procrastinate with everything else.
Oh, okay. But I mean, if you want to reach out to somebody, especially people that are like older.
Yeah.
And you don't have their email address, I think that also that just, even if they had those, it would be a strange way to start that interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. Cork, so failure for a goal.
Yeah.
But hey, hold your head up high, man.
I feel victorious in that my little hand was throbbing from writing all those words.
Oh, good. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
For me, Corky.
You had a good one.
My goal was to follow the news throughout the month in Italy and Tajikistan.
And how did you arrive at those two countries?
Randomly generated.
Yes.
A random number generator is how I arrived at these two countries to follow the news throughout the month, just to try and connect with what's going on in other parts of the world. Jeff Cork.
I think you hit the jackpot for one of those countries.
We could say maybe. So somebody immediately recommended something called Ground News, which is like an app where you can follow news specifically from one country. And so I went to Tajikistan. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, by the way.
That wasn't one of the big stories. How to pronounce our name.
In the year 2021. So I checked out Ground News, and Tajikistan as a country had 8 followers for their news feed. I'm like, well, that's pretty low. But maybe it's not a very popular
Did you make it 9?
I did. Didn't go back to it too often.
Okay.
Cork, the moral of the story is I really blew it on this one, man.
Oh.
This is a sad stretch of failures on my part. By that, I mean, I think 2 failures for BetterQuest in a row.
Yeah.
I Googled around a bit and then just never found like a great way to follow the news just from these countries. So like, eventually I would do Tajikistan and then go over to like the news tab and stuff. First of all, there's Italy. It's just like, okay, here's the stories if you're looking at like Google News for Italy, but just the news section.
Football, probably, right?
Italy warns UK, America is feeding you counterfeit pasta. An eyesore, an armada of ghostly cruise ships is clogging the Italian Riviera. Locals are fed up. It's just a lot of kind of like fluffy type stuff, which I don't know what I'd really expect. And so I really didn't do a great job. But Tajikistan, let me tell you, it turns out it shares a border with Afghanistan, which is why this was a very interesting month to try to cobble together some semblance of news. So basically, I wasn't as consistent throughout the month. Every once in a while, I'd go in kind of spurts. So that's why I'm considering this a failure, right? But yes, obviously, trying to follow the news in a country that borders on Afghanistan throughout the month has been interesting. It's more in the news than it has been for quite a while. But like, it's fun to see the stories that pop up that aren't like related to the Afghanistan war, because it's just interesting stuff like, they had a meeting and the president of China and the leader of Tajikistan got together and agreed on their alliance and all this stuff. It's like, it's cool. It's nice seeing news stories where the U.S. is not involved, right? It's like, what are other countries saying to each other? Everybody doesn't just talk to us, which is very easy to get into that sway.
They're talking about us, though, right?
I assume they must be talking about us all the time. Let's see, Cork. So Tajikistan, 9.5 million people. It was born out of the fall of the Soviet Union.
So this was a news story. It was like the World Book Encyclopedia entry.
This is the Wikipedia entry. Tajik was the official language. So
coincidence?
Fun facts. Yeah. But obviously the big story is about Afghanistan, and specifically it's about like refugees and like how many refugees specifically can Tajikistan hold. And then also there was a big news story where they are building a new base. The U.S. is building a new base at the border for Tajikistan and Afghanistan for security. And so it seems like a lot of people are up in arms about like, okay, Biden, so you care about that border over there, but what about this border here? Like, some news outlets were like going with that as a general theme. And then there's this other story that popped up. I don't know if you heard about this. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. But this Representative Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma, him and like a couple other representatives have tried this, and it's a weird story, but The basic idea is when we left Afghanistan, he somehow had some connection to like 5 American citizens over there. So he flew over there to try to get these citizens out. Mm-hmm. And the way he describes it is like, well, in order to get past any checkpoint in Afghanistan, you need boatloads of money to just like, hey, here's $4,000. Let us through this checkpoint. We got to get these people. Let's get them back out. So he's going on this adventure to try to get these 5 people out and had to go through Tajikistan to get there. Mm-hmm. And so he had to coordinate a lot with, what's what I'm looking for? The ambassador. And apparently there was just a whole hullabaloo about this guy trying to do this stuff. And he was exceeding the max amount of cash you can have on hand for flying into Tajikistan to try and get into Afghanistan. And so I guess he was like screaming at all of the people in the office and the ambassador for this country because he insisted he needed to be let into this country to get the people. And then it seems like the Biden administration is like, what are you doing? Don't do this. Like, this needs to be like an official thing. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But like a couple of congressmen would just like journey over there to try and like, we're getting as many people as we can. It's like, I get it, but like this should be in a little bit more orderly fashion. And so this guy's story is like, we had the 5 Americans like at the gate, and then the State Department would not accept them. It's like, yeah. So everyone's just like pointing fingers in what is ultimately a tiny, tiny fraction, obviously, of the heartbreak and just turmoil over there. How much have you followed the Afghanistan news, Cork?
Not a whole lot, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a defense, or I.
You just feel like, okay, I've had enough thoughts over the last 20 years, and at this point, it seems like we're out. Obviously, a disaster the way it all happened, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't feel informed enough to get into it in an interesting way.
Right. I kind of had the same thing too, where this last weekend, I was at like our lake place, and my great uncle swung by. Just kind of old timer, making sex jokes, old
sex jokes.
Yeah, something like that. Speaking of, hang on, this isn't a sex joke, but get a load of this joke real quick. It's a New York Times podcast, and they had an interview with like a 110-year-old woman. Mm-hmm. And she goes, I only have one wrinkle, and I'm sitting on it.
Oh, no.
Like, that's a good 110-year-old joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this great uncle came by, and a good, thick Minnesotan accent and all that. And he started talking about Afghanistan, and not in a very, just kind of like, hey, boy, get a load of this type of vibe, right? And I think I'm just really bad at adult small talk, because I realize, boy, I kind of am in your camp of like, I do not feel comfortable talking about anything confidently with that generation. Are you good at adult small talk?
I can talk loud, which I think is a lot of it. Like, if you want to get heated, is that what you mean? Or just like...
No, I just feel like, I don't know, do you have to interact with like your... like parents of your kids' friends and stuff, and just like talk about...
Oh, I'm awful at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is genuinely a very big fear of my life, is like, I think I can talk okay on a podcast, talk fine.
Yeah.
Then when I actually have to talk to a real human being, especially one that's older than me, I have nothing. Just nothing.
I just get in my head and I just examine the reason why we're occupying the same space. And then it's just like, we just happen to have kids that go to the same school, and that's what's happening right now. And then I just can't stop thinking about that. So I've got...
Sounds like a great way to open up a conversation.
Yeah. I don't say that.
Right.
I'm thinking about it just like, what are we doing here?
So it's the attitude of like, we should not be talking anyway?
I don't know what the deal is. I think, honestly, I'm just really, generally speaking, fairly introverted person. Right. So just going and talking without a real purpose is difficult sometimes. Like, if the goal is to have dinner, I could do that, I guess. But not a complete psycho. Good grief! I hope that I'm starting to think about this. Like, oh, geez.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's why it's like comforting to do podcasts.
Yeah,
it's just that idea of like, it's so nice to have a mission to the conversation.
I think that the hard part for me too is like, if I'm talking to someone who has like a really interesting job or has a super interesting hobby, I can like deep dive on that and just like that's all I want to talk about. But a lot of times the people that are kind of in that weird circle with like parents of like my kids as friends, it's just like office job type stuff where it just seems to be like I don't know what that's like.
Right. Yeah, well, it's a chance to learn. You could just make small talk for a long time. What's your favorite?
Do you like columns or rows better in spreadsheets?
I don't know. I think there's something interesting there.
Yeah.
We should take a call from the community.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Do you think they'll pick up now, or do they?
We're going to see if they feel like picking up now. This is the part where we leave it completely in their hands for exactly how this works. Hello, Crab Palace?
Oh my God. Hi, it's me, Crab Palace.
Oh my gosh, Crab Palace, the rap master himself, as he prefers to be called.
That's right.
You sound like, I don't know what it is, the acoustics, you sound like you are right here, like specifically at this part of the table, so I'm into it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us all the way in Minnesota. We appreciate it, man.
That's right. You can tell from my accent I'm from Minnesota, New York, or wherever it is.
Minnesota, New York.
You got it. What's going on over there? I say over there in a general sort of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 1:30 a.m. here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you normally be asleep by now?
Sorry, say that again?
Would you normally be asleep by now?
Yeah.
But then I said, hey, do you want to call into BetterQuest? And you said, I guess so.
Look, you know me. I'm always excited to be on here with the Questy boy.
Oh, that's us. That's us. You got it. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I'm having a good time.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. We could recap a couple of your goals if you're up for it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. August, your goal was to keep your phone on the far side of the room.
Yeah.
The old classic, just because what happens? What happens if you don't do that?
So my sleep is bad. Like I will go on my phone for ages before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, I'll go on my phone ages before I get up. And it's just bad, you know? It's a really bad habit.
Yeah, this month has been horrific for me, like mental health wise. And a lot of it is I've gotten to that zone of like, I know I have all these timers and stuff on my phone, but grip and rip it, F it, I'm just letting it all fly. It's always bad. It's always abysmal. And I know you can overthink this stuff, but every once in a while as I'm checking Slack or checking Twitter for the 300th time, I just think, what is my best case scenario? What do I think is going to happen? That I'm going to open Twitter and suddenly, I don't know, Greg Miller tweets, everybody support MinnMax on Patreon. Like, I don't know what the best case scenario would be. It's not like suddenly everyone's going to be like, wait a minute.
Maybe another day passes without you being the main character. I think that's the best case scenario.
That's the absolute best case scenario? Yeah, it could be. But it's sleep with you, or do you feel like you just get bummed out from checking your phone in general too much, Crab Palace?
I mean, it's all those things. But especially sleep, and especially just staring at my phone for way too long in the morning, especially when I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah.
It's quite bad.
Is it Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter's a bad one. This is a good trick you can maybe try is like, I don't know what kind of phone you have, but if you can just remove the Twitter icon from your home screen, so there's just a hole there. You don't fill it with another app, it's just a hole. And then I would find myself tapping the hole just out of habit. I haven't even decided to go on Twitter. I'm just like, it's like muscle memory.
Oh, that's really
Then every
gross.
time I'd hit that hole, I'd be like, okay, that's bad.
This is dark. No, I removed Twitter from my phone a long, long time ago. Years and years and years ago. But still, I'll just go through the browser. And even that, I have limits on like crazy. Okay, so that was your goal in August. How'd you end up doing?
Pretty good. So yeah, I'd always leave my phone charging on the other side of the room. I found that I slept way better. But I still found myself getting out of bed, grabbing my phone and going back to bed every now and then, but still cut down quite a lot. So I'm calling it a win.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't try to game the system by moving your bed to the other side of the room.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I'll try that. Thanks.
What do you think about this idea, everybody? Hey, everybody in this room, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about I was like, maybe I should just leave my phone plugged in at all times.
Oh, interesting.
Like I take a lot of notes, so that would be a problem. But other than that, like just always leave it on a tether.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
Go to like a Verizon or T-Mobile store and say, hey, how do I get one of these things that you got on the demo units so people don't steal them?
Oh, okay.
And I bet they'll tell you where they get that from.
And then just make it a lockdown unit.
Like with a little, like one of the janitor key ring things.
Right. Okay. All right. Now we're getting there. Crab Palace, you have a new goal for the month of September, which is very fascinating.
Uh-oh.
Can you regale us with what this is?
So I want to try stand-up comedy.
Yeah! That's the way to make yourself a hero. This is perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you going to work blue? Please work blue.
I think I will have to do a bit blue.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Oh, Cork's excited. Finally, a comedian working blue. This is new territory. Have you been thinking about it for a long time?
Yeah, so I've been doing improv for like 6 years-ish now. Obviously not much in the past year and a half. So I have like a comedy background. But stand-up's just a whole different thing, you know. Improv is kind of dead end. Like, there's like no famous improvisers apart from the people that are on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and that's literally it.
Right.
And
and Middleditch and Schwartz, I guess, but
yeah, I guess that counts. But stand-up comedy, you feel like there's a more concrete path in front of you that you can kind of climb your way up the ladder.
yeah, and I don't really want to be like a famous comedian.
Yeah,
It just like any kind of progression, I think, would be really nice and something fun to, push for.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your month in September. Your big goal here. So how do you do it? What's step one for getting a tight 5 or whatever you call it over there?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
Okay. Good.
metric 5.
I've just been writing like notes of sort of stories that I could maybe tell and just like vague ideas of things that I find funny. And then I'm writing them up. And the thing is, I'm not used to like learning lines. All the comedy I've done has been made up on the spot. So I'm trying to figure out, like, do I write a script and try and memorize it?
Yeah.
Or do I get some like general bullet points and try and riff on it, which is kind of the thing that I've practiced a bit, which is maybe one of my strengths.
I think you should definitely do that. And look, we're not going to ask for you to do a tight 5, even though Cork is with his eyes screaming to possibly ask you to do your best material right now. What is like, not asking you to do the material, but what's like the number one bullet point, you think, for the material?
Okay, so we're talking about going blue. This is the main idea I have.
Okay, hang on. I'll get this bleeps ready. Okay.
Ready.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is technically a swear word, but bring judgment here of where you put the bleeps. But one time I got up for work in the morning and then I sharted in the shower.
Oh.
Okay.
And it was quite bad. So I think I'll just talk about how traumatizing that experience was.
All right. Hey. Yeah.
You're going to want to hold for applause for that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good place to start. The crowd will have some reaction compared to you getting up there and doing your Tajikistan material, which I do not recommend, Crab Palace.
Yeah. So have you figured out...
Sounds like a callback to earlier in the show, but...
See, that's comedy, baby.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to do with the microphone? I'm always curious. Like, people always mess with it. Take the mic out, put it back in the stand, or lean on the stand. What are you going to do?
I think just take it out and hold it.
Smart.
I went to an open mic like last week or a couple weeks ago, and it was on a really low mic stand. So like you had to pick it out and take it out. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's because...
Oh, that's an opportunity for some physical comedy.
That is true. You get to take the mic out and be like,
huh?
Hey, this isn't normal.
Yes.
Which is kind of the essence of all comedy. I don't want to tell you how to write a joke.
Yeah, you want to surprise people and delight them.
Right. Have you ever noticed
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because he was going into the shower to get clean, but that's not what happened.
Cork, have you ever been tempted to do a stand-up comedy routine?
Oh, no.
Never tempted?
No.
You must have thought I could technically do it.
I think everyone has that when they see like bad, like you see a set, like someone bombs or whatever. Yeah. You're like, I could have done better if I had those jokes. That's why that one, what's the format you were talking about a long time ago that you wanted to go to where you write material for someone else and then they randomly assign it to other people?
That's right.
So you're like reading material that someone else wrote. I think that would be the perfect scenario because you have this plausible deniability, this distance between like, hey, I didn't write this. I'm just delivering it. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. So what was this idea? It was just to arrange for an open mic night where everybody...
I think there was one that they had that, though.
Here's the thing. I thought that was the setup. And then I remember talking to the person who told me about that format, and they said, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the way it works at all. So maybe I ran with the ball a little bit too far thinking that was the idea. But now that you mention that, that is good. And I think even, not that this is comedy. I would never recommend it as comedy. But like our Thanksgiving, 100 Reasons to be Thankful for Gaming that we do every year.
Yeah.
I think we're talking about this year doing that format about not writing jokes for us, but just writing jokes and just throwing it into the big pit, and we all just get to read random jokes.
They're going to be very dirty.
Oh, come on. As long as it's not about a shower, I think we should be just
Come on, more callbacks.
Come on, we got callbacks all day. Crab Palace, best of luck with this. So the end goal is you get up on a stage. Is that mission accomplished?
Yeah, absolutely. Like all the best comedians, or like any comedian that's been on any podcast, they'll talk about how when they started they were terrible and bombed over and over again. So
and honestly,
I'm perfectly fine with that happening.
You've got a huge head start compared to every other comedian because you're already a comedian on a podcast, which is that's only like the upper 60% of all comedians that exist. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sweet. Well, best of luck. Let us know how it goes, Crab Palace.
I will do.
Okay.
Bye, Questy boys.
Bye. It's shrieking at the end there. I think he was making his way. Never mind. Hey, look at this. We got another caller. Steve L. Steve Storm Blessed. You can go by either name. That's totally fine. Do you like Steve L. or Steve Storm Blessed, Cork?
Steve Stormblast.
Okay, great. Hello, Steve Stormblast.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, yo, what's up with you? Welcome to BetterQuest, sir.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the call. You guys are the best.
Cork. He said it.
He said it.
He
It's
said the
true
magic
now.
words. Welcome, sir. Your goal in August, Steve, is a humdinger. It was to buy a house?
So that was my goal back in... So I had so many goals, and I think I forgot which one it was. So that was my July goal. And we completed that goal, luckily. That was a thing that we made happen.
Way to go.
Magically, it happened. Yeah.
Jeez.
So applause all around. So we're all super happy over here anyway.
Yeah. And now you're living in that house.
We're not living in the house yet because it still needs to be all the way built. It was impossible to like buy a built house at the time we were looking in the area we were looking. So we bought a pile of sticks. And they're building it as we speak. Well, not as we speak, but you know what I mean.
Right. I get the idea. Yeah.
I've heard this fable before. This is a bad idea.
Oh, no. What is the fable? I haven't seen any wolves around.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
We're going to knock on wood. We'll see how it goes.
Just
You're
let him
totally
in.
set. Yeah. And also, you wanted to keep working on your book?
Yeah, so I finished the first transcript of the book, and I've been working on that slowly. After you finish the first one and you read it, you're like, wow, this is all really bad. But, from all the advice that's been going around on BetterQuest, it's like you just need to write something down and then you fix it later, right?
Yeah.
Because the hardest part is getting it down. So I did that, and I'm kind of slowly working through problems that I have with the book in my mind, figuring out how to fix it, and just kind of having fun with it. It's still fun, luckily. I haven't gotten to the point where I just want to throw the whole thing away. So I'm slowly going through that. That was also in July. My goal for last month was actually to hit the gym 5 times a week since I've moved, I've relocated for work, bought a new house, and now it's like, all right, time to fix a lot of things in my life that I want to fix. And one of those is like how I feel about myself physically. So I've been hitting the gym 5 times a week. And luckily, I completed that goal as well.
Hey,
awesome.
Nice. What was that like? Going to a gym 5 times a week. I was thinking today about maybe a gym would be an interesting goal. It sounds very scary, but how was it for you?
So it is very scary, but I was pretty lucky that I go in like at 4:00 in the morning and no one's there because this gym also happens to be like attached to my office building. So I'm there so early that no one's there. So I don't really have to worry about like, I got to learn how the machines work without people looking at me strangely.
That's
because
amazing.
You look at a machine and you're like, how do I even ride this thing, right?
Yeah.
So
now
it's
what's
like, all right, I'll just get on YouTube.
And you don't have to wipe stuff down when you leave either. If you're
now,
I just spit all over it and sweat all over it and left
smart.
it. So see you later.
Yep.
Now, I don't want to be a regular Crab Palace here, but what's the shower situation like? Because that seems like make or break.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The showers are actually really nice. I mean, it's an office building that's very well kept. They're clean. They've got everything you need there to get clean. They've got double curtains, so you've got 2 layers. It's like a spaceship. So it's not just like the open shower thing that you have to deal with.
Is that most gyms? Do they have private showers at this point? I still imagine prison-style showers for every gym.
Like high school showers, right?
Yeah,
so I have no idea. This is like the first time I've been here. It's like, wow, if they're all like this. Well, no, that's not true. I've been to like truck stop showers, and I would never like even go within an inch of those. So
yeah, but you spent a lot of time looking at them. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, it seems like you're kicking ass. Yeah. You seem invincible.
If you're getting a house built, Hanson, this seems like your dream situation right here. Could they build a pull-up bar in the house, like purpose-built pull-up bar where you know that you're not going to break it? It's not like mounted in a doorway. So maybe you do that.
The answer to the question is yes, but like also like, they were so busy worrying about if they could, they didn't ask why.
Oh, no.
As a wise man once said.
You got a choice. Do you want stairs or just a series of pull-up bars?
Yeah, all the way up. It's a Ninja Warrior course to get to the second floor. That would be
pretty good.
Yeah.
The rings that you have to like swing, get momentum and hook them onto a peg.
The kids would be like super ripped by the time they left for college. That's for sure.
You don't want, they could kill you in your sleep at that point. You can't get your kids too muscular. That's a classic fatal flaw.
Treat the top of your skull like a phone book.
That is true. My 12-year-old is already getting to the point where he's got the leverage now, so he's getting tall. You can't give him any more than that.
Yeah. So the gym is the goal for this month?
So I'm going to continue that goal for this month also, to continue going, because I would like to continue improving myself on a personal level, and that's like I've got it into the routine already, so I'm not going to stop that. I'll just continue as long as I can possibly go with that. So that'll be for this week, and I guess I have like a bonus goal since finally I started watching like the Last Dance documentary.
Oh, the best.
And now all I really want to do is like slam dunk a basketball. So that's like I'm not putting it on the list, but in the back of my mind, that's like the bonus goal. If I can continue working out, eventually I think I should be able to dunk a basketball.
Is this going to be like a Shaquille O'Neal situation or like a Spud Webb scenario? What are we working with here?
It's probably in the middle because I'm like 6'1".
Okay.
So
all right.
I used to be able to grab the rim. I've never been able to dunk it, and like now I'm pretty far from it. So I've got a ways to go. But I just want to be able to dunk a basketball, because like, is there anything cooler in basketball than just dunking on someone?
Smashing the backboard in the process of dunking.
Yeah, lighting yourself on fire like NBA Jam. That seems pretty cool.
I want someone to yell Monster Jam as I do it. Hopefully, that would be like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But there's like no one up at that time when I'm going to be doing this.
That's good, but I feel like dunking a basketball, that's not an easy goal to have in the back of your mind. It's it needs to be in the middle to the front if you want to actually pull off dunking a basketball.
Yeah, like you have to find yourself at a place with a hoop.
Right. It's not like I'll get around to that any second now.
That's true, but I mean, eventually, like, you just find hoops all over the neighborhood. It's like, hey, can I borrow your basketball? No, there's a basketball goal at the gym, so
that's a problem.
If I do squats and I start jumping a lot of boxes, eventually it's like playing Final Fantasy. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and then your skills, you'll eventually just be able to dominate the hoop.
Is that what it is? I just jump more, and then it's like Oblivion or something? Like I can eventually work my way up to that rim, because I'd like to dunk a basketball. I'm 6'1". Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
video
smart.
games have taught that that's true, so I have nothing to say that that's wrong.
But there's probably like a good YouTube video for just like, how do I increase my vertical? That'd be fun to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I've looked at those. I guess stretching is important. I'm just learning this, so I guess I need to stretch.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we believe in you. And when you dunk that basketball, please put footage of it in the BetterQuest channel. We'd appreciate it.
I will definitely do that.
And do like that slow motion video capture so we can see that, but also for some of the failures, because that will be very funny.
Yeah. Is that too much to ask?
It is never too much to ask.
Okay. Yes, we did it. Okay. Thanks so much, Steve L. Thanks for supporting MinnMax.
All right, guys. Thanks. You guys are awesome.
All right. Bye. Good voice. He
sounds 2 great voices in a row, right?
I know. He sounds like a tall, handsome guy, doesn't he?
He really does.
I feel like that guy's voice could dunk a basketball. And I mean that with the most respect I can muster.
Yeah.
Next caller is the one, the only, Evan One Sonic, who's watching us.
Oh, the harshest critic.
That's right. Evan One's coming around. Here we go. Even though he's in the chat talking about how nice everybody is. Hello, Evan One Sonic.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to MinnMax. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Doing wonderful. Thanks for calling in. Have you called in before?
I have not. This is the very first time.
God, your name is all over the place. We've never spoken before?
No, I don't believe so.
Wow.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that seems impossible. I feel like I've talked to every member of the MinnMax community at least 3 times. Let's see. Are you big on Twitch streams? Where do I see your name all over the place?
I'm frequently active in the MinnMax deals section.
Ah.
Good deals on games.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's
I'm
what
also
it is.
hanging around some Twitch streams. Just kind of all over the place.
All over the place. We appreciate it. How did you find MinnMax?
Back in the Leo Vader, when he left Game Informer to MinnMax,
Yeah.
one of your videos was in the YouTube algorithm. I was like, okay, let's check them out.
Wait.
I was a little intimidated
Oh.
by the length, but I love it now.
What, do you remember what that was?
I don't remember. It was one of the MinnMax Show podcasts.
Okay.
I do remember.
And you saw Leo and you're like, this is my boy.
Yes.
This is the
I
greatest
was
thing
like-
I've ever seen.
I heard he was moving to someplace called MinnMax. I'm like, okay, sure. Didn't think much of it.
Yeah, that's the best we can hope for is people being like, okay, I'll type in this new podcast into my podcast app.
I don't think much of it, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, man, I get it. So, everyone, Sonic, your goal is kind of a double whammy with your last month goal. So, last month, your goal was to find a place on the internet for my video game writing and to make a name for this site. What is this saga like?
It's very hard, especially the name.
It's impossible, isn't it?
It was very, very hard. And in the end, I just Googled video game writing name generator and went with like the third pick.
That's a thing I can do?
Yes.
Game Informer.
Thanks to Google.
Dang it.
Video game
What was
writing
that?
name generator. He said Game Informer. That was his joke.
Oh.
Let's see. I did this site. It says Cloudland, Astro Watch, Data Fight. Ooh, Data Fight's a pretty good name. Nextlander, are you listening? It's not too late to change it to Data Fight. Okay, so you just wanted some place to house your writing. Is that the best way to put it?
Yes, sir. That's about it.
Nice. And how is the journey going? You just went to GoDaddy or whatever and like founded a site?
So I looked around a little bit and I found Google Blogger. It's somehow connected to Google.
Okay. Yeah.
And you get to create your own site similar to a GoDaddy.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because I was thinking it'd be a lot more complicated to host a website and all, but
Right.
it's apparently free and easy enough to do.
This is great. And now you can rate reviews about Refunked and talk about the Xbox Gold games. I mean, you're building up a resume here, man.
Getting it going.
Nice. And the name you landed on is?
Elevate Games.
That's good. I think that's
a very
good.
close tie with Gamester.
Gamester.
You made the right call.
Yeah.
Gamester wasn't taken?
It, I guess, wasn't taken. I'm not sure.
That's really
Even
wild.
during the heyday of Napster, that was not like a spin-off.
I know. You think it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the goal for Elevate Games then? You just want to keep writing about games? Do you want to kind of transition into doing freelance stuff or anything?
I'm not opposed to freelancing, but I definitely want to grow the site more. Get some more reviews on there. Get some more, maybe like impressions. That's kind of hard to do as a freelancer.
Yeah.
Not a big corporation, but
Right.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you focusing on writing for this site. It seems like a lot of people in your shoes would be like, okay, I guess I have to start a YouTube channel and then say, reaction stream for the new Matrix trailer. Bah! You know, that type of normal thing. You know, like, I don't know if you've been to youtube.com/MinnMax, but that type of thing.
yeah.
But you did. You chose writing, the classy approach, the gentleman's way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I guess I can write about games. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, congratulations. And so your goal is to have 15 new posts on Elevate Games by the end of the month. Yes,
Nice.
Yes, sir.
That sounds great. And if people want to check out your writing, what is the URL for this thing?
You can go to elevategames.blogspot.com. ELEVATEGAMES.BLOGSPOT.com.
And you know he's a good writer because this guy can spell. Cork.
There you go. That's half the battle, baby.
Well, congratulations, everyone. Sonic. Is there anything you want from MinnMax in the future?
Oh, this question always comes right up at you.
I know. You get one wish. And Cork
I
has
don't
to
know.
fulfill it.
I like Trivia Tower. I guess keep it going.
Okay.
Maybe let me win one.
No promises. Only on your merits, Evan One Sonic. All right. Thanks for calling in and thanks for the support.
Thank you very much for having me.
Bye. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. We also have other people, believe it or not, that are trying to fulfill their goals. People like Abigail Warner. She's going to try intermittent fasting in September, Cork. Nubby is going to run twice a week and continue strength training. Sincerely Eric is going to read all of House of Leaves. David Schneider is going to apply for at least 4 jobs a week with a dedicated cover letter and resume. Podbot is going to lift weights 3 times a week and meditate every day. My God, these people are becoming superhumans. And Clemens is going to study Unity and C#. Congratulations, Clemens. Very exciting. Good job, everybody. We believe in you. Do it, please, everybody. All right, Cork.
Yes, sir.
We're at the part of the show where we have to reveal
Yes.
the goals for each other. Who goes first? Who
I'll go
fires
first.
the first shot?
Because you've got options and you can pitch me a nice slow lollipop or some...
I worry that mine are boring, but okay, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give you a little preamble first.
Okay.
This is really difficult for me because I try to find ways that are like you're giving someone a task.
Right.
Which is fundamentally, there's an air of unfairness to it, right?
Sure.
But I'm trying to think of something that I think you'll enjoy.
Yeah.
Potentially. But leaves enough room for you to kind of guide it yourself a little bit.
Okay. But I don't like that mushy, I've had too many mushy goals lately. I kind of want it to be a little more strict.
Okay,
specific numbers.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
One of the things I always think about when I hear your voice when I'm just lying in bed trying to fall asleep is you saying, I'm not going to do that. I will never. No. So I think once a week until our next goal, I want you to take a recommendation from somebody and go with it. This is not like that movie where the guy said yes to everything or whatever. This is not like that, okay? This is different because it could be any kind of recommendation, like a specific thing, like you don't have to it can't just be a yes, no binary, but if it's like, I think you'd like this movie.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? You should read Iron Man. I think you'd enjoy that.
Read? The comic?
The comic. Once a week when someone offers a suggestion. And this
I'm not prompting it.
You're not prompting it. That's the tricky part about it.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like...
That's fun. That's so good, Cork. That is so good.
Okay, I'm glad you like it. Because it can't be something like where you're at BetterQuest, you're just looking and people are firing stuff at you. It's got to come up naturally from interacting with people.
And I just can't say no.
No, you can. You get to choose once a week.
Yep.
One of those things you have to be like, you know what? You recommended this show or this movie or this album or whatever. I'm going to give it a shot.
Here's a perfect example. Just yesterday, I was talking with dear friend of the show, Tim Turry. And he was I was talking about Waiting for Guffman with him because, believe it or not, I've been bringing that movie up a lot lately.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, we just finished Schitt's Creek. Like, did you enjoy Schitt's Creek? I was like, I didn't watch it. He's like, you should really watch it. I was like, I won't be doing that.
That's exactly that's it. Yeah, you nailed it.
Right. He's like, I'm pretty good.
I know that the one that always killed me is you're like, I know. I just don't. I'm not going to though.
Right.
And I'm like,
this feels like it's just going to be a month of like reading or just like watching TV shows that I've been putting off for a very long time.
It doesn't have to be. It could be like a restaurant recommendation.
Yes.
Or even like if you're at a restaurant and someone's like, oh man, you should try this such and such.
Right.
I feel like you have enough latitude to kind of take it in the direction you want to go.
This is excellent. This is
Thank
A+
you.
goal. I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Once a week. Take a recommendation and go with it.
Yes.
Actually do a thing, you idiot. Okay, that sounds great. Boy. Let's see. One of them was to be less enraged at everything on the internet.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. I worry about you sometimes. I feel like you're tiptoeing back into social media, and I feel your frustration coming out. And at times, I want to be like, Cork, you're better than this. Just don't engage.
Yeah.
Just don't. You're tiptoeing back to engaging and confronting, and it doesn't seem like it's a good path for you to be on. But that's not the goal. That's just a friendly warning shot that you should not do that.
All right.
I don't think you'll like this one, but here's what it's gonna be.
Oh no.
You know how we all say, "Oh, I wish I was smart."
Oh no, I gotta be smart now.
You gotta be smart. I don't know if you're a fan of like trivia and factoids. Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is something that I've been tempted, like, oh, it'd be cool if I knew all this. Mm-hmm. But it would take a little focus to get there. So your mission, not whether or not you choose to accept it, you are accepting it. Your mission, your goal for this month is on the next episode of BetterQuest, you have to walk into this studio, eyes closed, tripping over the table, sit down, list every president in order.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's doable, right?
Yeah, there's only like 20, right?
That's right. 16.
Famously 20 presidents.
At the last count, I believe.
All right.
You think that's doable?
Yes.
Okay.
That's doable.
Hot preview for everybody. Go.
Washington. Adams.
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
It falls apart from there.
What about this guy again? What about that middle guy again?
Roosevelt.
You got it. All right. Well, that's your goal, Cork.
All right.
It's possible. I believe in you.
And you know what? If I do it and I come in and I start saying them and you notice, hey, there's like a melody or a little bit of a tune here.
No, melody accepted.
Oh.
I assume someone's made a song. I mean, memorizing is memorizing, right? That's just like a mnemonic, isn't it?
I don't know.
Songs are the greatest
It's
mnemonic.
more of a harmonic.
Okay.
You're listening to that, Krusty Krab, for your set?
Ooh, Krista Knutson says, I'm pretty sure this was my summer assignment for AP US History like 12 years ago. Like we had to come into the first day and be quizzed on this. Ooh, Krista, I mean, you're ahead of the game on every aspect of BetterQuest.
I'm going to be a really good high schooler.
That sounds great. Cork,
I actually like that one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of fun in a really silly way.
Because honestly, one of my favorite ones that I've done, I think my number one favorite is learning katakana. Because I know I've talked about it 1,000 times, but it's just crazy how many times it comes up, and it's just fun to have this little riddle. Like I was rewatching the reveal trailer for No More Heroes 3, and it's like Travis touchdown on his bike going by, and then I was just looking at, I wasn't listening to it, I was just looking at it, and they had subtitles in katakana, and I just took that pause to be like, what is he saying here? And I was like, oh, he's saying superhero, and it's so nice I can read them.
That's awesome.
So you could be like that, but with American presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also talked about having a community goal. Like, wouldn't it be nice as a way for everybody watching and listening to this to tip their own toes into the BetterQuest world? Because coming up with a goal, that's complicated. Where do you start? Where do you end? It's all over the place. But what if we just teed up a goal and said, hey, do this, everybody.
Yeah.
Here's a great entryway, a great gateway. And so I jumped in the Discord channel and asked for people's opinions on what would be a good one to start with. And both Crab Palace, former guest of the show, and Krista Knutson jumped in there with a recommendation, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah?
And it's a nice visual thing for the Discord channel as well. You can veto this if you want, live on air, because we are very live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is cook a meal, a new meal, and share a picture.
That's great.
Prepare a meal you've never prepared before, and you can either tweet it at us, MinnMax Show on Twitter. We will share it again if you tweet it at us, or you can post it in the BetterQuest channel, and we'll share it as well.
That's great.
Over Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah. And take a minute to do some nice plating.
Yeah.
Make it look nice.
Put like a glob of frosting on there. BetterQuest style.
A nice thick swirl of mayonnaise.
But yeah, cook a new meal, everybody, and share a picture of it with us on Twitter or in the BetterQuest channel. Or if you think you're better than that, make 1,000 new meals. No, you can come up with your own goal and then share that goal in the BetterQuest channel in the Discord. We'd appreciate everybody jumping in there, and the more encouragement for everybody else, the better. So thanks to everybody for playing along, being very sweet, and being very fun with each other.
Do you want to hear it real quick?
Oh my God.
What my initial goal for you was going to be?
Oh yeah.
To, over the course of the month, take a picture of you holding a frog, you holding a toad, you holding a turtle. But I was like, this is more of like a scavenger hunt at this point.
It's just becoming a dare. Okay.
It's not a dare. They're great. They're like 3 of the best creatures.
They are wonderful creatures. That is very good. Could they be pets?
There would have been no distinguishing like qualifications
that is
like that.
So funny. I love that one. That is so amazing. Remember that one, please. If anybody
that'll
wants,
be really good in February.
If anybody wants to take that as their goal instead of preparing a new meal, and make sure to keep those 2 separate, everybody. But you can also do that if you post a picture of yourself holding a frog, a toad.
A frog, a toad, and a turtle. 3 separate pictures.
That's right.
Yeah.
Natural enemies. Don't get them near each other. No. You'll regret it. Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to BetterQuest. Jeff Cork, how are you feeling about this month?
I think it's going to be super fun.
I think it's going to be a wonderful month. Thanks again to everybody who jumps in and competes in BetterQuest. Is that the best way to put it? Challenges themselves, makes a mission to get better on their own terms, all that fun stuff. And we'll be back the first Thursday of October to report on these goals and to shed a little light on everything else under the sun in the world of getting better.
Love it.
Cork, have I stretched out this outro long enough?
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. See you next time. We'll see you when you're better.
Bye.
If you are sick of snark, clickbait, and an avalanche of movie news, you can help support independent games media by subscribing to MinnMax's YouTube channel here or checking out the benefits over on Patreon. It's a nice, clean handshake. You support us, and we won't make dumb, condescending stuff for you. Your support helps us continue our mission of focusing on games, friends, and getting better. Patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. We'd appreciate it.